My name is Lindsay Klein, and I am one of the lead authors for Robotel's Let's Talk series. I was a language teacher for 12 years in the high school setting.
My name is Danielle Kempf. I'm also an author on the Let's Talk series, and I am a former high school language teacher of 11 years.
We are a group of language teachers based in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area, and we have over 75 years of combined teaching experience. Globally, Robotel has dealers in over 85 countries, and we have been in business since 1984. And for most of the last decade, we've heard a lot of people asking us for content. So our digital platform was teacher-centered, where teachers could go in and they could put their own activities in, build their curriculum into our software. We've been hearing a lot how teachers are looking for a turnkey package. So that is exactly what we have done from a teaching perspective. And we've developed these materials. We put these materials into our teaching platform in order to provide a turnkey package to schools. We've added former teachers and current teachers to our staff so that we could provide an opportunity to have teachers developing this language package instead of curriculum specialists. We really wanted to make sure that we kept it close to home and that it was developed for teachers by teachers. We've begun with English simply because of the fact that it is the most on-demand language currently, but we do plan on expanding and going into Spanish and German and French as we move forward. Let's Talk English is a multi-level English course for English as a second language learners or English as a foreign language students. It is teacher managed, it is teacher centered. We didn't want to take the teacher out of the equation. A lot of language platforms out there or apps out there are self-led, and that requires a lot of intrinsic or self-motivation, and we believe that there's power in the mentor, and it's helpful when navigating through a language and the idiosyncrasies of a language. So we really wanted to remain true to that and keep the teacher at the center. It's an all-inclusive electronic online curriculum, and everything is at the touch of a button for a teacher.
Let's Talk English addresses all of the language skills that are necessary to master a language. So we have reading, writing, listening, and speaking. We decided to model Let's Talk English after the CEFR Global Proficiency Standards, as it ranges from A1, which is beginner, through C1, which is advanced. All of these levels are easily mapped into other national standards like WIDA and CLB, which is why we decided to go with the CEFR standards. So we decided for our textbook to target the ranges of grades 6 through 12. It's also good for college, university, adult learners. We chose a set of students to follow throughout each of our books, and they are ranges from teenage years through young adult. Let's Talk English integrates a world-class English curriculum that is written by teachers for teachers with a powerful technology platform. We've created several activities to help out the teacher, so there's a lot of auto-graded activities. We really push speaking in our classrooms, so we create a lot of speaking activities in our curriculum, natural situations for students to be in, which sets us apart from a lot of other ones because we're encouraging the students to interact together and have those real-life conversations. And with the auto-graded activities, it allows for more time in the classroom for students to be practicing the language versus doing a lot of the rote practice.
One of our advanced capabilities is a pronunciation activity that uses artificial intelligence to grade your students' pronunciation. So many times my students would be repeating after me and they weren't saying anything near what I was saying, but they just can't hear themselves. This allows the artificial intelligence to grade them and give them that immediate feedback. When I'm talking to teachers about what it is that we're doing, a lot of what I say is, what would you rather have your students do for homework or for a task? Would you rather have them write about what they ate for dinner, or would you rather have them tell you and talk about what they ate for dinner? Because when they go out in the world, what we really want them to do is to be communicating, and so this platform allows them to do that. The average student only gets about 1 minute per week in the target language. So if you're really trying to provide opportunities for your students to become fluent, 1 minute is not going to cut it. So using our platform and using Let's Talk, students will gain at least a 10-fold expansion of speaking practice. We're really trying to give our students more opportunities to speak, more opportunities to be comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's what it is. When you don't know how to use a language, it's really uncomfortable to try to talk around words that you don't know and make mistakes. But that's exactly what the students need to be able to do. So there is a teacher handbook that provides a detailed and easy to follow explanation of all course activities, has all the answers there for the teacher, and it represents about 75 to 100 hours of student work per course, per level. What we really like is that teachers are able to customize our curriculum. So a lot of times when you're using a textbook or using a student workbook, what you see is what you get. Because it's a digital learning platform, you can choose to do each activity, you can skip over an activity, and the best part is with our language platform, you can even easily add your own activities in. So if you feel that your students still need practice with conjugating verbs or using the present continuous, you can go in and add a couple touches of a button, you can create an activity to add into your curriculum, and it will be there year after year, all in one place. And that idea of all in one place was something that was huge when I started using the Robotel Smart Class Plus platform, because I was one of those teachers who was very resourceful. I was really good at pulling from this resource and that resource, and I was juggling about 10 different resources in the air at one time, and that becomes difficult to remember where I had students logging into, and they needed to know each type of platform. So to have everything housed in one place under one platform, I didn't have to go to 5 different places to have my students, speaking here and listening here and reading here. It was all housed in one place. The other thing is that certain activities need our eyes and our expertise as teachers, but many don't. So 75% of the activities that we have written in this curriculum are self-graded by our system, and so the students will get that immediate feedback.
And what's really nice about that is therefore you don't have to be juggling all these different papers, because you don't have to hand out papers, collect papers from students. Everything is right there in the system for you. So it's really nice when you assign homework to students, it's already in there. You can already see that it's done before the students even get to class. And what's really nice is the feedback that students receive from teachers is all in the system as well. So teachers can leave students a grade in the system. They can leave verbal or written feedback for the student, and the students, whenever they go in, they can see that. Other things that they can see is, let's say the homework assignment is one of our auto-graded ones. The second that they submit it, they can go right back in and see, green for right answers, red for wrong answers. So everything is there for you and the student, all in our one platform. Let's Talk English can definitely be used as a complete curriculum, but we know as a teacher coming into this, looking at it, you probably have your own curriculum, you might have your own textbook already, so maybe when you start using it, you can use it as a supplemental resource and pick and choose what you think your students might benefit from. And as you become more accustomed to the Let's Talk English curriculum, you might see that this is where you can transition over, and it's a one-stop shop for you.
We do want to make this the only resource that you need to achieve the results that you want with your students. We are fully invested in this. This is kind of a passion project for both of us, but we are fully invested in this, and we want to be the ones that help bring your students to that next language level. We know we put a lot of emphasis on speaking in some of our other questions, but oral mastery is really at the center of what we do. Our number one goal as language teachers is to get our students to be able to communicate. So getting them to communicate in a second language, it can open up a whole different world for them. We know the confidence it builds. We know that it helps them learn to appreciate their own language, their own culture even more. And the only way that you can do that is by providing more opportunities for your students to speak in that target language. And that's exactly what we did through and through this curriculum. There are unlimited amounts of speaking opportunities for that oral mastery.
And one of the things we love is with this platform, once we started implementing it into our own classrooms, we saw that the students now were taking more ownership of their own learning because of that recording feature. So with a lot of our activities, students have to record themselves either individually or they're having a conversation with another student, and when they're done, they can play it back. And now they get to hear what they just said, versus without the platform, we would listen to our students, we would provide them with feedback, but it kind of went in one ear and out the other because they weren't the ones recognizing it. And now when they listen to it, they can recognize if they mispronounce a word or if they misconjugate a verb. And therefore then they get an opportunity with a lot of our activities to re-record. So they're getting more and more practice, they're gaining more and more confidence. The more times they do that, the more times they record it, and hopefully then that confidence is going to translate out into real life situations.